Yo, what goes down, everybody? Walker Dead here, back again with another episode for you guys. This is season 2, episode 8 of my Walking Dead reboot series titled Hope. Yes, this is the mid-season finale of my Walking Dead reboot series. This is the season 2 mid-season finale, and I can't wait for you guys. Don't see this. This is one of the biggest episodes yet, and I can't wait for you to see what happens. Anyway, let's get into this episode now, shall we? The episode begins with Rick having a very not depressed but distraught look on his face. He is in shock over what just happened. Everybody's looking at Shane like you just caused somebody to die. Lacey Greene is screaming and crying in pain as Hershel notices this as he grabs his gun and shoots Lacey in the head. Lacey Greene being dead. He goes over to his dead wife's corpse, but his dead wife is a walker and tries to fight Hershel, but Tara grabs the rake and kills Annette Greene in a badass, sexy fashion. As Hershel's like, damn, that thing almost bit me. But at the same time, he's still very upset over what happened. As Hershel, Beth, Maggie, and the rest of the Greene family members are walking towards the barn, Shane is like, "Where's Sophia?" And Shane's like, "Listen here, you stupid, crazy asshole. You got my daughter killed. I will never forget that. I want you off my property and off my land. I'm gonna think about it. I'm gonna think about kicking you off. But once I make my final decision, that is final. I want you off my land, Shane." Shane, getting really angry, pissed off, just walks away as Rick and John doesn't see anything. Glenn, as the rest of the Greene family members go inside the house, Glenn also goes inside the Greene family house as well to check on Maggie. The next shot is in the woods, and Andrea is in the back of the van with Avesta and Sophia. She is waking up as she sees Harlan, and Andrea immediately says, "You're gonna die. My people are gonna find you and they're gonna kill you." Harlan says, "Well, that may be so, but I still need your help. That's right. You are gonna get me on that farm. I want to see it for myself. If you don't give me what I want, or fulfill my request, your friends are gonna die. Starting with the little girl. Then this little black-haired Mineta over here. And then you. Well, eventually. So here's what's gonna happen. You and Sophia are gonna radio your leader to come over to this bar. We're gonna trap him. We're gonna kill him. We're only gonna kill 2 of them to leave 1 alive so that we can get into that farm. Me and my people, the livers, we have been on the road for a very, very long time, and we need some place to stay. We need a place to build a community upon, and I believe that farm could be it. Now, if you don't help me, well, you already know. So if I were you, I would suggest you get to it. If you really want to save your friends, hell, I suggest you play along." The next shot is Glenn inside the greenhouse, and Glenn immediately tells Maggie, "I am so sorry that you lost your sister and your brothers." Maggie says thanks, and Glenn's like, "I was wondering if you want to go out and look for Sophia with me?" Maggie says, "Sure." Maggie, this is where Maggie tells Glenn that the back door was open. Meaning Arnold. Glenn, you don't think Glenn says, committed suicide, ended his life? To be honest with you, I don't really know, but I'm guessing that's what actually happened. If, he came out of the barn. And I'm just sorry that you lost your half your family. Maggie says thanks. The next shot is Shane walking up to his booth hand. He opens the door as he sees Dale looking at him with this death look on his face. Dale says, "You're gonna take off or something? Have somewhere you need to be?" Shane slams the door and says, "Well, and yeah, what do you do for this group, huh, Dale? Huh? Tell me, what do you do? You just stand around on watch? You fix up an RV?" No, you want to know what I chose to do? I chose to open that barn. Yeah, I did. That's not you. That's not Rick. That's not John. That's not Carl. That's me. I saved Carl and Lori. Me. I'll tell you what. Next time I need help with an RV or vehicle or help with a radiator hose, I'll give you a call, man. As he gets into his truck and leaves. The next shot is Shane getting out of his blue truck and he is helping Andrea, T-Dog, Glenn, John, and Maggie dig up the grapes for Annette, Sean, Lacey, and Arnold. John says, "Hand over the shovel, Shane. Now." Shane gives John the shovel as John says, "That woman, you killed her. That's on you. Don't forget that." As John walks away with an angry look on his face. He is not happy with Shane at all. And as Billy Greene is noticing this, he is just looking at Shane from the distance and he's just giving him this angry, death stare. And he is just pissed off. The next shot is Hershel in his room and he is just looking at his wife's old clothes and old jewelry and old things she used to have on back when she was alive. And she looks at her old perfume and he starts to cry a little bit. And she just smashes the mirror window. And he just breaks down in tears. And he is just really upset knowing that he just lost not only 2 sons but a daughter and now knowing that his wife is gone. His second wife is dead, and he knows in his heart there's nothing he can do to bring any of them back. And he is just upset knowing that he misses them so much, and she is just really, really upset and depressed. He grabs his keys to his car and just gets in his car and just drives away. The next shot is Glenn talking with Maggie, and Maggie's like, "Do you want to stay?" And Glenn's like, "I don't know. It's just my group might need me, but I just don't know." And Glenn's like, "Don't get me wrong, I do want to stay." And then out of nowhere, in the background, Beth drops 2 plates, and they are just smashed on the kitchen floor as Beth collapses and falls on the floor. Maggie's like, "Oh my god!" And then the next shot is where Beth is on the bed, and John immediately comes through the door and is like, "What happened?" Maggie tells John that Beth collapsed on the floor. I think she's in shock. John's like, "Damn, I'm gonna go find Rick." The next shot is John, Shane, Rick, and Maggie in Hershel's room. Shane finds one of those old school beer bottles that people used to drink from back in the day. Shane finds one of those and says, "Let's go find a little friend." Passes it to Maggie, and Maggie says, "It was my grandfather's give to my dad when he died. He didn't even allow liquor in the house." Rick then asks Maggie where's the nearest bar in town. Maggie says Hatlands. Back in the day, he used to go there during his drinking days. Rick says, well, then that's where I'll find him. John says, I hate you going alone, brother. Rick says, don't worry, I'll be back. You just stay here and watch over Beth. She needs a friend. John says, fair enough. Hey, Rick, be careful, okay? And Glenn says, I've seen that bar when I was out on the road before. I'll take you. Rick says, all right. Maggie says no, and that's when Glenn says, don't worry, I'm gonna go him, get your dad, and come right back. After all, Beth needs medical support now more than ever. Maggie says fine. She says I can come. Rick says no, you've done enough today already. Lori tells Rick, go get Hershel. Bring him back. Go get him. Lori kisses Rick, and Rick says, that's the plan, and walks away. Rick and Glenn get in the car, and they drive over to the bar Maggie was telling them about. The next shot is John and Dale outside. They're walking out of Hershel's house. Dale's like, this place is going to hell. John's like, well, I'm trying my hardest not to think about that. Dale says you won't be able to. Shane is dangerous. John's like, yeah, he's a stupid hothead. Who got Lacey killed. Dale's like, no, John, he's dangerous. I think he killed Otis. Wait a minute. Otis was killed by walkers. Dale says he knew how to handle walkers. Otis was the one that was putting them in the barn. John says, I need you to be really, really clear with me right now. What are you saying? Dale says, I believe Shane sacrificed Otis. I can't prove it, but I believe he shot him and left him for bait so that he can get away. John says, well, Shane may be a hothead, but he's not a murderer. I mean, hell, why would he kill someone who was just trying to help Carl? Dale says, I don't know, maybe he was pinned down. He said it. He all but threw it in my face. I'm telling you, I knew guys like him. And sooner or later, he's gonna kill somebody else. The next shot is Glenn and Rick in the car driving to the bar. Rick asks Glenn, are you okay? Glenn says he's fine. Glenn mentions that he was in a group before when him and T.R. got separated. He was in a group before. One of them was a great dude. He had a hatchet and he just cutted walkers' heads off in the motor inn. The other was a reporter, and she was really nice and a sweet person. There was this little girl with the hat and this hat with a D on it. This chick's father, Larry was his name. What a complete asshole. I parted ways with him to find T-Dog. And when I was on the road, there was multiple walkers on the street. And then that's where I saw the car where Morales was driving and Avesta and T-Dog were out the windows, and they had like guns shooting my walkers out of nowhere. And T-Dog was like, Glenn! Glenn! That was a good one. Yeah, well, it wasn't for those three, I would never made it to that Atlanta camp. Never would have found my friends. Rick says, yeah, that sounded nice. Who knows, maybe you could find someone from that group one day. Probably find one of those people and you were just telling me about. Glenn says, I hope so. The next shot is Oliver looking at the car Rick and Glenn are in. It just passed by as this Oliver named Nathan radios Harlan and says, jackpot, they are on their way to this bar, to the bar downtown. Harlan says, I'll send Dave and Tony in a small group over there. Hell, we'll surround them. Nathan says, copy that. Rick and Glenn make it to the bar as Rick grabs his python gun and as Glenn grabs his weapon, and they head into the bar. And they notice Hershel is in the bar drinking. As Rick says, Hershel says, who's with you? Glenn. Hershel says, did Maggie send him? Rick says, he volunteered. He's good like that. Hershel, it's like, how many you had? Hershel says, not enough. Rick then says, come on, let's finish this back home. Beth collapsed, is in shock in some kind of retro state. She needs you. And I think you're in shock too. Is Maggie, Billy, and the others with her? Rick says, yeah, but listen, Beth needs you. She needs her mother. In time to mourn. I robbed her of that. And I see that now. You thought there was a cure, Hershel. How? You can't just blame yourself for holding out for hope. Hershel then says, hope. When I first saw you running through my field with your boy in your arms, I had a little hope you would survive. Rick says he did. Hershel then says, yeah, he did. Even though we lost Otis, your friend Shane was able to make it back, and we saved your boy. In that moment where he woke up and breathing, that was the miracle that proved to me that miracles do exist. Only it was a sham, a bait and a switch. I was a selfish fool, Rick. And your people saw that. My daughters, my wife, my sons deserved better than that. Hershel, I'm sorry about Arnold. Hershel then screamed, just go! Just go! I promised Maggie I'll bring her back safe. Hershel then's like, like you promised that little girl? Rick then gets mad and says, what's your plan, huh? What's your plan then, old man? Just sit here, drink yourself to death when you leave your sons and your girls alone? Hershel then gets up and screams, stop telling me how to raise my family. My farm. You people are like a plague. I did the Christian thing. I did the right thing. And hell, I gave you and your friend shelter. Your wife shelter. And you want to know what your friend did? He opened that barn and got my daughter killed. He not only did that, he destroyed it all. Then, like, the world was already in bad shape before me and you even met. Hershel then screams and says, and yet you take no responsibility. You're supposed to be their leader. Well, I'm here now, aren't I? Yes. Yes. Yes, you are. Come on. Your sons, your girls, Patricia, they need you more than ever. I didn't want to believe you. You told me that the CDC was destroyed and there's no cure. I chose not to believe that. And when Billy came to me before I left, told me that the top back door of the farm was open. And after my son Arnold came out of that barn, the look on your face, I knew you seen it too. Right? There is no hope. And you see it now. Hell, I couldn't save my son Arnold or Sean. There's no hope. There's no hope for any of us. You know what? I'm done. I'm not doing this anymore. Cleaning up after you. You wanna know the sad truth is? Nothing has changed. Hell, death is death. Doesn't even matter what it was before. Hell, if it was from heart attack or gunfire or hell, even getting bitten by a walker. Hell. You didn't think it was hopeless before then, did you? And now there's people back home still having hope. Yeah, they need us. Hell, even if it's just an act or stupid reason to go on, even if we didn't believe it ourselves. You know what? This isn't about what we believe anymore. It's about them. The people we are trying to protect. The people we love. Don't you love your family? Rick, you're right. Let's go. As they're getting ready to leave, a door opens and two men enter the bar. These two men are livers, and these two men are Dave and Tony. Dave is like, holy shit, they're alive. Tony says, what's up? Rick is confused by this and he's like, huh? The next shot is Dave pouring whiskey into a bottle, and he's like, my name is Dave. The chunky dude over there's name is Tony. Tony Joe says, eat me, Dave. And Dave says, screw you. Me and Tony met on the road before we joined a bigger group of people that saved our asses. Glenn introduces himself and says, I'm Glenn. It's really nice to meet some new people. Rick says, Rick rhymes as he introduces himself. Dave is like, it is really nice to meet you, gentlemen. Really nice. How about you, sir? Would you like one? Hershel's like, I just quit. Dave says, that's fair. Rick then says, his name's Hershel. He lost people today. A lot of them. Dave's like, I'm truly sorry to hear that. To our dead. In hopes that they are in a better place. Amen. Dave then takes out his weapon to show Rick, and he's like, not bad, huh? Took it off a cop. Rick then says, I was a cop. Dave then says, the one I'm talking about was already dead. As he smiles. You guys look like you're far from Philadelphia. Dave says, feels like we're far from anywhere. Rick then asks, what drove you south? Dave's like, well, there was this camp in Nebraska, but unfortunately got run over by walkers. I was on a highway traveling south, and then that's why I met this fucking douchebag over here, Tony. And then, by little, we met this group of okay, decent people. How about you guys? Where are you guys from? Rick says we were from Atlanta, but we plan to move on to Fort Benning eventually. Dave's like, Fort Benning? Not a bad place to settle in. Just, here's hoping it's not, taken over by the dead. Glenn says, you mean walkers? Dave's like, walkers? Wow, that's actually pretty cool. I actually like that better than lamb brains. It's funny. You guys don't look like you are hanging hats here. You guys are holed up somewhere else. You guys got a group. Rick lies and says not really. Dave then looks Rick in the eyes and says, come on, Rick. We both know that cannot be true. From what you just told me, Hershel here lost a lot of people now, did he? Were those your cars out front? Glenn says, yeah, why? Dave's like, no reason. Just asking. I mean, you two look a little empty. Where's all your weapons, your supplies, your gear? Hershel then says, we just came in here for a drink. Dave's like, a drink? Hershel, I thought you quit. Tony says, wait, is there a sink here? Dave's like, don't mind him. He took a cleaning class in college. Tony's like, hey, I went there for 2 years. So you are getting set up somewhere? Trailer house? Old development? Farm? Old MacDonald had a farm. E-I-I-O. Do you have a farm, Rick? As he's looking at Tony, he notices that Tony's peeing on the floor. Dave's like, well, what do you have at this farm? Do you have like food, water, bathroom, supplies, medical tools, blankets, eggs, switches? Well, do you have a farm? Tony's like, do you got condoms? I haven't, had that sex in a week. Dave's like, oh my god, please, Rick, please excuse my friend's inappropriate personality. He says weird things sometimes. Hey, why not go up to this farm, Glenn? Rick then says, we said enough. Dave's like, now hold on here. This farm sounds pretty cool and pretty sweet. Doesn't it sound pretty sweet, Tony? Tony says, yeah, pretty sweet. I mean, we wouldn't mind, I don't see why not have some hospitality. To be honest with you guys, we're part of a group of 35 people. We could use a hand. Hell, if you let us and my group know, I could take it up with the leader. Hell, we can pull our resources, our manpower. Hell, we can trade. Rick says, I'm sorry, but that's not an option. Dave says, well, I don't see why it wouldn't be a problem. Hershel then's like, I'm sorry, we can't. Rick then says, we can't take in any more, meaning we can't take in any more people. The farm is big enough as it is. You guys are something else. You know why? Not that we were friends. Well, guess what? My group, the Livers, they're my people, and unfortunately, I gotta look out for my people as well. Rick then says, well, we don't even know anything about you. Dave's then like, that's true. After all, you don't know anything about us. Hell, you don't even know what we had to go through out there. I'm thinking you did some of those crazy things yourself, am I right? Rick says, yeah. But the farm is big enough as it is, I'm sorry. Listen, ain't nobody's hands as clean of what's left of this world. We're all the same. So hey, come on. Let's take a joyride up to this farm, and hell, we could probably get a chance to know each other. I'm sorry, but that's not gonna happen. Tony's like, this bullshit. Rick's like, calm down. Tony then screams, calm down? No, I'm not gonna fucking calm down. Hell, I'm gonna probably shoot you all in the head and take the damn thing. Dave's like, whoa, relax. Take it easy. No one's shooting anybody. No one's killing anybody, right, Rick? Rick then goes for his gun, and Dave then grabs his gun and puts it on the desk. He's with his hands up and says, now, where's the good stuff? Look, see, Rick, it's just two friends having a drink, that's all. Now, where's that good stuff? Yes, good stuff. Let's just see. As he ducks down to get a beer bottle, he grabs his radio and whispers in the radio, boss. There are 3 people in the barn. 1 old, 2 young. Yeah, they're armed. Bring in the girls for an exchange. And bring in the other people too. We'll knock them down. Harlan radios Dave and Tony, says, don't worry, we are coming. He grabs the beer bottle and he shows it to Rick and he's like, hey, look at that. Yes, that will work. Rick, you have to understand. We can't stay out there. Especially after you know what it's like. Rick says, yeah, I do. But the barn is crowded enough as it is. I'm sorry. Dave then's like, well, what do you suggest we do then? Rick's like, I don't know. I hear Nebraska's nice. Dave laughs and giggles and says, Alaska. This guy. He grabs his gun, trying to shoot Rick, but Rick gets the upper hand. He grabs his Python revolver and shoots Dave in the head. He then turns around fast and shoots Tony twice in the stomach, and then he goes up to Dave, aiming the gun at his head, pulling the trigger. Both Dave and Tony being dead, and this is the badass, darkest scene of this series. And this is also the part where Rick kills his first 2 human kills. And of course, Dave being the first human he has killed in the Walking Dead the Reboot series. As Dave's body falls to the floor, Glenn and Hershel are like, what the fuck just happened? But Hershel in his mind is then like, Rick did what needed to be done, because those 2 men drawled on Rick and would have killed him if he didn't do something. As Rick, Hershel, and Glenn are looking at Tony's dead body, they hear the radio, and it's Harlan speaking on the radio. Rick Grimes. Rick grabs the radio and says, who the hell is this? Harlan then says, you're Doomsday, as he beeps the horn, and he says, I'm actually right in this van, and guess what? I'm watching you. Rick is in shock by this. He is looking outside. He sees the van as Harlan comes out of the van, and he is just waving his hands, like presenting himself in a villainous way, and he is like, so we finally meet. Nice to meet you, Rick. I have a proposition for you. Nathan, Randell, chop, get the girls from the back of the van. Rick is like, what the fuck? As they bring out the people from the van, Rick sees Andrea, Avesta, and Sophia, and he is like, holy shit. And he looks around and notices all of the livers in a straight line, and he says, if you don't come out right now, I'm gonna kill the old man, and then I'm gonna kill you, Rick. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna kill the little girl right in front of the Haitian boy. It's either you come out now or you all die. So, what's it gonna be, Rick? Your life or theirs? You wanna know who we are? We are the livers. And we have no problem killing you. The next shot is back at the farm. It's nighttime at this point. Felipe is just walking around, stretching his legs. He notices a cow crying, but he notices that the cow has his guts eaten. Mad blood and mad guts are on the grass, and the grass is bloody. He's like, what the fuck is this? He turns around and sees a walker. A walker comes out of nowhere and tackles Felipe to the ground as he is screaming for his life. Guillermo, Tara, and the others hear this, and T-Dog's like, what happened? And Patricia's like, I don't know, go. As he is trying to reach for his knife to kill the walker grabs his hands and opens Felipe's whole chest as he is screaming. There's mad blood and mad guts coming out, and he is just screaming for his life. Daryl is running, and but that's when the walker fully opens up Felipe's stomach in a gruesome, disgusting fashion, just like we've seen in the show, but only this time it is 10 times more crazy and gruesome. Daryl tackles the walker on the grass. He grabs his knife and kills the walker. Daryl sees Felipe's injury and he is screaming, help! Help, over here! Over here! Or he's like, what happened? Daryl says, Felipe. Tara comes out and says, no. Felipe, no. Look at me. Look at me. It's gonna be okay. Hershel! Where's Hershel? Hershel's not here. He's not back yet. Tara's like, then we're gonna have to, since we can't get him back to the house, we gotta do surgery here. Glenn, oh, he's not here either. Fuck. Ah! John, get the medical supplies. He's in the house. As Tara is freaking out. John's like, is there anything we can do? Patricia says, no. Unfortunately, there's nothing I can do. Shane's like, come on, there has to be something you can do. He's suffering. Patricia's like, oh, now you're concerned for your people now? After what you fucking did? Look at this man. He's fucking suffering for his life. There's like, she's right. He's suffering. Do something! John takes out his gun, but as he's ready to pull the trigger, Daryl's like, don't worry, I got it. And that's where we get the same shot from the show where Daryl's aiming his gun, but only this time it's Felipe. He's aiming his gun to Felipe's head as Felipe says, sorry, brother. Felipe closes his eyes as mad blood's coming from his mouth, from his nose. He closes his eyes. As the screen cuts to black, you hear a gunshot. Felipe is dead. Before the screen cuts black again, we get this close-up shot on Harlan, and he smiles in this evil, evil grin. And that's how you know the shit is gonna hit the fan. And boom, that is the end of the episode. This was the mid-season finale. The major character death, of course, was Felipe. Him dying was indeed a tragic loss, but I needed him to die in order to develop Tara and Guillermo and John and the other characters going forward. And this mid-season finale was insane. This is definitely the first mid-season finale of the series. So please smash that like button. Please smash that like button. Share this episode with all your Walking Dead friends and family. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Please subscribe to this channel. Hit that notification bell. And as always, I'll see you all in the next one. And as always, peace.